Show. The Common Good Radio Show. Brought to you by Veteran Rescue Mission. Highlighting the good in the community. Hosted by Pastor John McClain, Tucson's favorite family show.
Yes, indeed. Welcome back to the Common Good Radio Show, brought to you by Veteran Rescue Mission. I am Pastor John McClain with Tucson's favorite guest co-host, Mrs. Alicia Sanchez, with
Omni Homes International.
Absolutely. And how can people get a hold of you if they want to?
By phone is best to 520-809-3343. Let me know if you want to get a house.
Well, cool. But as you all know, this would not be the Common Good Radio Show if we did not give grace to a very loving Father that makes this all possible. And we usually do that with the Lord's Prayer that goes a little something like this. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory, forever and ever. Amen. And today's a special day, Alicia, not only because you get to be my guest co-host, but because we have, in saying that, I have an organization that I'm blessed to be partnered with and thankful to kind of work with. I got to even MC an event for them just recently that's really helped galvanize my own faith and help me to kind of find how I can better partner to do more kingdom work and to be, a better use to, the Father the way that I want to. So I say all that to say, welcome Keisha Dion with For Tucson, and thank you for definitely helping me better fulfill my calling.
Thank you for having me. And you know what, John, you were the best person for our event on Friday, the MC. So many people kept leaning over to me saying, he's the right one for that. And so we're just so grateful that you stepped in and helped us in that way to just really try to keep the conversation going and keep it focused on the purpose, the reason that we were all there. Yeah, so it was really nice.
Thank you for saying that. I definitely, when I left there, I was asking my wife, I was like, did I do good? Which is weird for me to even, how self-conscious I was about it, because I've hosted dozens, if not hundreds of events before. But I was just like, I just wanted to do so good for you guys. So thank you for saying that.
Yeah, you were amazing. So thank you for stepping into that. We wish we gave you a little bit more time for that. But honestly, you stepped in and used your gifts. So thank you for doing that for
Absolutely.
us.
Thank you. And so for those who aren't familiar with what, who, where, when For Tucson is, fill them in.
Well, For Tucson is a Christian nonprofit, and currently we're kind of all over the city. We don't necessarily have a home right now. We're still in search of that, but what we really focus on is systemic issues in our city, and we intentionally seek out relationships throughout all sectors of society to see how can we bridge relationships and come to a collaborative solution as we address systemic issues in our city.
And definitely the big thing that I've seen that's been so awesome about For Tucson, and it's been such a blessing to me, is it's surprisingly this missing hub for ministries, missions, faith-based organizations, people that have a heart for the kingdom to come together. And it's been really so awesome to see that. But that aside,
Can you tell us about the successes of Movement Day?
Wow, this last Movement Day, we were just talking about this earlier today. It was one of the most successful ones that we've had, and I think this was our fifth one. We've had different iterations of it, and it actually came out of a movement in New York City, where they were able to get all faith leaders to really focus on the city. And this year, we had the most diversity as far as people from different backgrounds and industries and expertise. We had business leaders, we had people from government, we had pastors there, but we also had other individuals that had this calling to do something in our city, and they don't necessarily have a formal leadership role, but they have these expertise and influence in order to be able to bring about solutions in our city. So it was really nice to be able to have that. We had Eric Swanson, who's pretty much one of those individuals globally that seeks out organizations like us, trying to galvanize people looking to do good in our city, people who love our city so much that wants to see it flourish and thrive in so many different ways. So yeah, it was really cool.
That's awesome.
It was cool, and as you go through the list of the different speakers, yourself included, I was fanning out, like for sure, like all of you. I'm just like big fans of. You're all amazing powerhouses, like so, especially Liz Morales. I was really fanning out over her. She's just the breadth of the people that were in that room, and I certainly spoke to it as I was emceeing. It was just, you choose a mountain and we can move it, because there was, and I think that's the cool thing about Fort Tucson is it's just so great at bringing together all these powerhouses, all the stakeholders, community leaders from different sects together to sit at the table and remind us that, hey, we are all working for one amazing God. It doesn't, matter what our divisions are, but let's unite underneath that idea.
And the other thing that I like about this is that we don't only seek out Christians. And a lot of people kind of shy away from Christian organizations, thinking they only want to talk to those that believe like they believe and care about the things that we care about. But honestly, we seek out people seeking to do good in our city. And if we set aside all of our belief systems and just say, okay, what do you think about our education system? What do you think about the homeless in our community? What do you think about those living in poverty? And you will find a level of compassion when you remove all of the things of what you believe, the God that you serve, whether you should pray standing up or pray kneeling, whatever those things that differentiate us, right? But if you all come together with this one common thing of what do you think could thrive in our city and what should die in our city.
And that, and kind of in that same note, you're talking about, the homeless and housing. You have a housing collaboration coming up soon. Speak to that a little bit.
Yes, so it's really interesting. Probably about 5-6 years ago, popular opinion about this tiny home type of village to help solve the solution of homelessness. John, you've been in this space much longer than I have. But what we've noticed is that a lot of individuals want to go and replicate exactly something that they have seen somewhere else versus tapping into the creativity that we have just being created in the image of God, right? We have this level of creativity. And so we started to go down this road about 5 or 6 years ago, just asking, okay, what do you think is the best solution for homelessness? And people would say, well, we have Primavera and we have La Frontera and we have GRM and Salvation Army, and they're tackling it, which they are. They're tackling a very specific demographic of it. But what we're hoping to do, because there's others that are homeless that don't fit that criteria of service that those agencies have, and we want to be able to bring all of these people who are frustrated because there's these gaps and to see how can we all come together and solve and fill in those gaps of service for those who are in just tremendous need in our community.
Yeah, and we have probably another minute, unfortunately, until we have to get out of here. I feel like we could talk for another 10 hours. But I know we have the Jericho Ride event coming up in March. We're speaking right now to kind of the housing collaboration event coming up. We just finished the Movement Day, as we're kind of showing the theme that, Fort Tucson does a lot of kind of annual monthly events that are a foundation of something amazing. Speak to how other ways people can get involved, whether it's to donate their time? If there's money that needs to be donated, what are their greatest needs, and how can people that want to help fulfill those needs?
Yeah, so we have some very creative volunteer opportunities. One in particular that we're looking for is someone who has some dramatic background or thespian type background, because we are launching our second bus tour.
Okay.
And that's really diving into the history of our city and how we as the church can be there and be present and relevant in the city. But we need a narrator for that. So someone who has some type of acting skills or things like that. We look for translators is another thing that we're always looking for. And then especially with this Jericho ride, oh my goodness, there's so many volunteer opportunities for that one day event in March. And so if you are a motorcycle lover and you want to ride around a city and pray for our city on your motorcycle, that is a way that you can connect and be involved as well.
And then how can they get a hold of For Tucson?
Always the number 4tucson.com.
Awesome.
Just go to the website. You can Google us. It'll pop up.
Thank you so much, Lakeisha Dion with For Tucson.
Thank you.
Absolutely. I'm Pastor John McClain. This is the Common Good Radio Show brought to you by Veteran Rescue Mission. We got Alicia Sanchez over there as well. We'll be back right after the break.
The Common Good Radio Show. The Common Good Radio Show.
I would do that one
Brought
time.
to you
We're like
by
5 seconds.
Veteran Rescue Mission. Highlighting the good in the community. Hosted by Pastor John McClain, Tucson's favorite family show.
Hello, welcome back to the Common Good Radio Show brought to you by Veteran Rescue Mission. I am Pastor John McClain here with Alicia Sanchez with Omni Homes International.
Hi, everyone.
Hey. Well, thank you for joining me again today, by the way.
Yeah, thank you for having me. This
Yeah.
all feels a little new again. It's been
Does
a while.
it? Yeah, I know. Just as you started to learn how to ride, that bike, you went away and you became a super real estate agent that you are. But thank you for filling in.
Yeah,
Today.
it's fun. I love it so.
Yeah, and we had a good conversation with Lakeisha with For Tucson.
Yeah.
That was pretty powerful stuff that they're doing, huh?
Yeah, really awesome. It was great to hear about everything that they're going to be doing.
For sure. And now we have another awesome organization. I'm biased, but I want to say one of my favorite organizations in Tucson. It's I want to ruin it. I'll set it up a little bit. They're an organization of men that we come together once every quarter so we can decide on what organization we're going to donate to that's doing good in the community. So I say that to not ruin it, because I know my friend here, John LePage, with 100 plus guys who give, is going to give us a much better definition, a better description of who they are. But thank you for coming on the show, John.
Thanks for having me, as always.
Absolutely. So, yeah, like I said, you fill us in on exactly, who is 100 plus guys who give.
Yeah, so we're just a group of guys, and we get together every 3 months, once per quarter. We meet at Brother John's, and we have a little social hour for 1 hour, and then after that we start what we call the Big Give, and basically that works as a member, you can nominate a nonprofit you feel deserves the collective donation that we make that night. And then your name goes into a hat. We randomly draw 3 of those names, and the guys give a little 5-minute presentation. The members of the group can then ask some questions if they want. And after that, we all vote and select who gets the collective donation. Right now, we're at about 120 members, so we're giving about $12,000 every quarter.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And I guess speak to some of the organizations that you've already donated to, and kind of some of the highlights for you so far.
Yeah, so I'll talk about the last one we gave to. We gave $11,700 to Camp Cooper, Cooper Center for Environmental Learning, and we actually got to go out there and look at what they do. They gave us a cool little tour, and we got to take a photo with the kids. They actually had campers on site at the time we went out there. It was very cool to see kind of how they're just, you know, getting kids outside and in the wild and teaching them about nature. And the way they do it too, they don't sit there and, you know, have them do workbooks and teach them the names. They have them connect with nature. They go out and experience it, and that's really cool. And as far as I go, you know, to me the coolest part is just seeing all of these nonprofits doing amazing things in our community. Some I've never heard of, some I know a lot about, but either way, you know, it's just seeing the impact that they're creating for our community and us being able to help them, you know, increase their impact.
Yeah, that's really awesome. How would they find, you know, 100 plus guys who give? How do they usually get a hold of you guys, or how do you guys find out about, you know, them and somebody that might need your help?
Yeah, so it's all done through our members. So we don't like bring in nonprofits to present for us. Basically, what we do is our members go on, and when, you know, they're out in the community and they see someone that needs help, our members can nominate that nonprofit, and the members are the ones that actually speak about it, because we don't want, you know, it being kind of a lottery for nonprofits. We want to hear the stories from our members and why they think, you know, they deserve that donation. So it's all through the members.
Yeah, and if I can kind of speak to it a little bit, it's just been a blessing to be part of, and we did what was it in July, the dual give?
Yeah, we did a combo give with the women's group, 100 plus women who.
Yeah, speak to that a little bit, just because that event was fun. I mean, they're all fun. I love all the gives, but that had you know, a little kick to it, and it definitely, I think it in a lot of ways it was, if nothing, at least subconsciously, it was your way of paying a homage to that sister group.
Yeah, so that give was especially cool because I think in combination we gave almost $80,000, and we actually ended up splitting it up a little bit. We gave a little bit to the two nonprofits that spoke that didn't get selected, and then we gave the biggest chunk to the ones that did. But yeah, it was cool to come together and meet the women on the other side of, you know, doing the same thing we're doing. And that's actually where our group came from. The idea came from was the women's group. So it was cool to see how they do things. And
we have a big event. You have a big give coming up. Speak to that a little bit.
We do. It is a week from today. So it's February 19th. Starts at 5:30. As long as you're there anytime between 5:30 and 6:30, that's when the social hour is. So anytime between then is fine. The big give actually starts at 6:30, and it's at Brother John's Barbecue.
Okay, and like, I think kind of Alicia was kind of hinting to it a little bit. Like, so I'm John Q. Public. Just a coincidence, my name's John, and I want to get plugged in, whether I want to become one of the 100 plus guys, or I just want to go check it out. Like, what does that process look like? Can someone just show up and come to the event next Wednesday, or is there a sign up form online, or if maybe they want to just become one of the guys before they even come to the event? Like, walk me through it. I feel like maybe for someone who's never heard of it before, they may not even know where to start.
Yeah, for sure. So the easiest way by far is to just show up at the give. You just show up, and, you know, whether you want to just check it out or if you know you want to join, we'll set you up right there. We've got leadership team that can walk you through how to get joined and donated and everything. And then if you just want to check it out, also just show up. If you can't make it and you still want to join or start hearing about the stuff we're doing, you can go to our website and get signed up there. There's a sign up tab that'll walk you through it. And our website is 100 guys who give Tucson.org. So that's 100 guys who give Tucson.org.
Awesome. How long have you been a part of that organization?
I founded it in February of 2020.
Nice. And kind of, I feel like I've been involved with 100 plus guys, maybe a little over a year, maybe 2 years now, and I feel like at that time, we were, clearly short of 100, and it's great to hear where we're at now. But I say, speak to that journey, when you started it off to what seems to be pretty wildly successful, and where it is now, and what what the plans are moving forward.
Yeah, so I mean, as far as the journey goes, it was quite an interesting thing to start an in-person fundraising event in February of 2020. But we ended up starting it online, and we started with like 36 members because our first give was $3,600. And yeah, now we're at, over moving through online to moving it back to in person, and, different ups and downs and things. We're up to about 120, and our goal for the end of the year is to be at 200 members. That's
awesome. And then could probably have 30 seconds. We have to jump out of here. For people who want to be involved, email address, website, contact information, how can they do that?
Yeah, really just website. All the stuff is on there. You can look at the contact info and everything as well if you want to email us. Like I said, easiest way for sure, if you can make it, just come to the Big Give next Wednesday. You can talk to us in person, or you can do the website 100guyswhogivetucson.org.
All right. Thank you so much, brother.
Thanks.
Thanks so much.
It's John LePage with the 100 Plus Guys Who Give. This is the Common Good Radio Show, brought to you by Veteran Rescue Mission. I'm Pastor John McClain, here with Alicia Sanchez with Omni Homes International. How can they get a hold of you one more time?
520-809-3343.
And then also, as always, I want to thank our sponsors, Proper Villains for Tucson, We Care Tucson, 100 Plus Guys Who Give, Tucson Tamale Company, Desert Sunset Realty, White Stallion Ranch, Piper Family Painting, Steamy Concepts, Dawn Till Dust Landscaping, Arizona Choice Home Care, Marriage and Communications, CB2PGA, PEP Inc., and Tucson Tool Shop. And remember, at the end of every day, it's night.